The Trump earthquake, an unconventional start. Donald Trump's 2016 victory sent shockwaves through American politics. The political outsider, a businessman with no prior experience in government, had defied all expectations. His victory revealed deep divisions in American society. Trump's rhetoric, often fiery and confrontational, resonated with a base hungry for change. They felt unheard by the political establishment. He vowed to make America great again. His presidency, from day one, would be anything but ordinary. He delivered a dark and defiant speech. He promised to be the voice of the forgotten men and women of America. They feared the direction he would take the country. He signed a flurry of executive orders. These orders targeted immigration, healthcare, and environmental regulations. The media, which Trump frequently attacked as fake news, provided relentless coverage of his every move. Despite the turmoil, Trump remained defiant. Building walls, sparking outrage. Immigration takes center stage. Immigration became a defining issue of Trump's presidency. He had campaigned on a promise to build a wall along the US-Mexico border. He vowed to crack down on illegal immigration. He argued that these measures were necessary to protect American jobs and security. One of Trump's first major acts as president was to issue an executive order banning travel from several Muslim-majority countries. The travel ban sparked chaos and confusion at airports across the country. It was met with widespread protests and legal challenges. The Supreme Court eventually allowed a modified version of the ban to go into effect. Trump also implemented a zero-tolerance policy at the border. This policy led to the separation of thousands of migrant children from their parents. The images of children being held in cages sparked outrage both domestically and internationally. Trump eventually signed an executive order ending the family separation policy. However, the damage had been done. The policy left a lasting stain on his presidency. Trump made building the border wall a central focus of his presidency. He insisted that Mexico would pay for the wall, a claim Mexico repeatedly denied. The wall became a symbol of Trump's hardline stance on immigration. It also became a lightning rod for criticism. Critics argued that the wall was ineffective, wasteful, and immoral. Tax cuts and trade wars, Trump's economic playbook. Trump entered office promising to boost the American economy. He pledged to bring back jobs and renegotiate trade deals. His signature economic achievement was the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. This law slashed taxes for corporations and individuals. Trump argued that the tax cuts would lead to economic growth and job creation. The tax cuts did provide a short-term boost to the economy. The stock market soared to record highs. Unemployment fell to historic lows. However, the benefits of the tax cuts were not evenly distributed. Corporations and wealthy individuals reaped the biggest rewards. The national debt also ballooned as a result of the tax cuts. Trump also launched a series of trade wars, most notably with China. He imposed tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods. He argued that these tariffs were necessary to protect American jobs and intellectual property. China retaliated with tariffs of its own. The trade war had a significant impact on the global economy. It also hurt American farmers and businesses. Obamacare on the ropes, healthcare in the balance. Repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, was a central promise of Trump's campaign. He repeatedly vowed to repeal and replace the law. He argued that it was a disaster that had driven up healthcare costs. Republicans in Congress made several attempts to repeal and replace the ACA. However, they were ultimately unsuccessful. The efforts were met with fierce opposition from Democrats. They were also unpopular with the American public. The failure to repeal and replace Obamacare was a major political defeat for Trump. Although Trump was unable to repeal the ACA, he did take steps to undermine it. His administration cut funding for ACA outreach and enrollment efforts. They also expanded access to short-term health insurance plans. These plans were cheaper than ACA plans. However, they also offered less comprehensive coverage. Trump's actions on healthcare were highly controversial. Critics argued that they would lead to millions of Americans losing their health insurance. They also argued that his actions would weaken protections for people with pre-existing conditions. Section 5. America First on the world stage, a foreign policy reset. Trump promised a dramatic shift in American foreign policy. He declared an America First approach. He argued that the United States had been taken advantage of in its dealings with other countries. He pledged to put America's interests first, even if it meant alienating allies. Trump withdrew the United States from several international agreements. This included the Paris Climate Agreement, the Iran nuclear deal, and the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement. He argued that these agreements were bad deals for the United States. He said that they undermined American sovereignty. Trump also took a more confrontational approach with America's adversaries. He engaged in a war of words with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. He imposed sanctions on Iran and Venezuela. He also increased military spending. Trump's foreign policy was highly unconventional. It marked a sharp departure from the policies of his predecessors. His actions alienated many of America's traditional allies. They also raised concerns about America's global leadership role. Section 6. Reshaping the Courts, Trump's Judicial Legacy. One of Trump's most enduring legacies will be his impact on the federal judiciary. He appointed 3 conservative justices to the Supreme Court: Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. These appointments cemented a conservative majority on the court for years to come. Trump's Supreme Court appointments were highly controversial. Kavanaugh was confirmed by the Senate after a contentious hearing in which he was accused of sexual assault. Barrett was confirmed just days before the 2020 presidential election. This was despite significant opposition from Democrats. In addition to his Supreme Court appointments, Trump appointed a record number of conservative judges to lower federal courts. These appointments will have a significant impact on American law and society for decades to come. They will shape rulings on issues such as abortion, gun control, and voting rights. Section 7. A presidency-tested impeachment and the shadow of scandal. Trump's presidency was marked by a constant stream of scandals and controversies. He was accused of obstruction of justice, campaign finance violations, and abuse of power. He was also accused of using his office for personal gain. In December 2019, Trump became the 3rd U.S. president in history to be impeached by the House of Representatives. The impeachment charges stemmed from Trump's efforts to pressure Ukraine to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden. Trump was acquitted by the Senate in February 2020. Trump was impeached for a second time in January 2021. This time he was charged with inciting an insurrection at the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. The impeachment trial took place after Trump had left office. He was acquitted by the Senate again. The impeachment proceedings were highly divisive. They further polarized an already deeply divided country. They also highlighted the deep partisan divisions in American politics. Section 8. Pandemic Politics, Trump and the COVID-19 Crisis. The COVID-19 pandemic dominated the final year of Trump's presidency. The virus had a devastating impact on the United States. It killed hundreds of thousands of Americans. It caused widespread economic hardship. Trump's handling of the pandemic was highly controversial. He downplayed the severity of the virus in the early stages of the outbreak. He resisted calls to implement nationwide mask mandates and social distancing guidelines. He also promoted unproven treatments for the virus. Trump's administration did take some steps to address the pandemic. They implemented travel restrictions. They also launched Operation Warp Speed, a program to accelerate the development of COVID-19 vaccines. However, Trump's overall response to the pandemic was widely criticized. Critics argued that his actions exacerbated the crisis and cost lives. Section 9. Trump's enduring grip, a changed political landscape. Donald Trump's presidency was a tumultuous and consequential period in American history. He was a polarizing figure who provoked strong reactions from both his supporters and his detractors. His presidency had a profound impact on American politics and society. Trump's presidency ushered in an era of hyper-partisanship. It also exposed deep divisions in American society. Trump's rhetoric and policies often inflamed these divisions. He appealed to a sense of grievance and resentment among his supporters. He tapped into anxieties about cultural change and economic insecurity. Trump's presidency also left an indelible mark on the Republican Party. He remade the party in his own image. He embraced a more populist and nationalist approach. He also showed a willingness to challenge democratic norms and institutions. Even though Trump left office in January 2021, his influence on American politics remained strong. He continued to be a powerful voice in the Republican Party. He teased a potential run for president in 2024. Only time will tell what Trump's ultimate legacy will be. However, there is no doubt that he left an enduring mark on American history. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please hit like and subscribe. A comment would be highly appreciated. It helps to figure out what kind of content you like and want to see in the future. I try to be factual. If you do not like it or think I am wrong, well, dislike and leave a comment too. No hard feelings about that. People can and should disagree in a civil manner. Got a different view? I am fine with that. So whether you agree or not, I wish you a great day. Maybe I see you again on my next video. And again, thank you for watching.